Hey, this is John Dawson of Patio Daddy-O Barbecue in Boise, Idaho, and I've got it locked on the 50,000 gigawatt blowtorch of the internet that is Barbecue Central.
In a world permeated with barbecue websites under the control of tyrannical administrators, there was one man, a one-man army. He broke all the rules. He allowed his members to speak out, give their opinions, and make the website what it is today. Get ready for Greg Rempe and the Barbecue Central Show.
Live from Cleveland, Ohio, it's the Barbecue Central Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Barbecue Central Radio Networks and LA Talk Radio proudly present the Barbecue Central Show. What's happening, everybody? A very good Tuesday evening to you, wherever you may be. I am your host, Greg Rempe. This is the Barbecue Central Show, and thanks again for joining me tonight. Jam-packed show, so let me give you your contact information to get started, 216-220-0966. To call in, if you want to email, you can do that as well, bbqcentralradio@gmail.com. Typically, I don't start off with a first segment interview, but I couldn't pass up the opportunity to bring a longtime friend of the show, Fred Bernardo of Fred's Music and Barbecue, back on. Fred, thanks for coming on tonight. How are you?
Hey, thanks, Greg. I'm doing just great, buddy.
Great. So I wanted to have you on top of the segment, share a few minutes. Obviously, you carry a certain cooker called the Big Green Egg. It's very successful. You're very successful, not only a brick-and-mortar retailer, but online retailer. And as people that are aware of the Big Green Egg, big eggedness, they have this thing called Egg Fest. Certainly, you're no different, so go ahead and tell us what's going on in Shillington, Pennsylvania.
Well, Greg, I thought I'd let you know we're bringing the Egg Fest to beautiful downtown Shillington, Pennsylvania. On May 16th, we'll have the gathering of the faithful eggheads right in our facilities, right around our store, an outdoor type event. Lots of people cooking, lots of eggs, the whole bit, right there at our facility.
What time does it start? What day is it? And is there like an entry fee or a participation fee?
Yeah, this is on May 16th. And in the evening of May 15th, we'll have a meet and greet in the store with some refreshments and probably some eats, of course. And then on May 16th, the day of the Egg Fest at 9 o'clock, we have the ceremonial lighting of the eggs at 9 a.m., and then the various participants who register in advance, and there are some fees. These are faithful eggheads will be there cooking on eggs and basically having some camaraderie and showing each other what they can do on the Big Green Egg.
No, this is certainly no surprise to anybody that follows the Big Green Egg. Certainly, while it started down in Atlanta where they were originally founded and manufactured, probably not manufactured, but at least originally founded by Ed Fisher, now they're taking place all over the country. How many people are you anticipating showing up for your event in Shillington?
Well, I'm really not sure. This is the first year we did it. We got a little bit of a late start, but we're hoping to have 100 or 2 people there, maybe 50 to 100 hardcores. If we get 30 or 40 cooking, we'll be quite happy, and we'll be doing some cooking and having some demonstrations. We got a great blues band. We're in the music business, and we're all a bunch of musicians and guitar players. So I, of course, all know the best guitar players in town owe me some favors. So we'll be having some great guitar players there playing during the day. And, I don't know. We're between New York and Philadelphia, and New Jersey is centrally located, so we hope to have a good turnout.
And then, of course, aside from the Big Green Egg Fest that you have coming up, Big Green Egg has actually made some type of adjustment or improvement or modification to I believe it was the extra large cooker, and you would obviously have some information about that.
Yeah, well, they over the course of the last year, it's been rumored that they have changed their extra large cooker and made a few improvements, and we finally got the first batch that we got of the new cooker, and they did some things to change the inside, the way the inside is the sizes of the parts on the inside to give you more cooking room. Really a nice thing. And I did a video the other day, and we've just posted it on our website in the video section that shows the two old and new side by side, how you can interchange the parts, blah, 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 blah. So, we have an extensive list of videos on the website, and if somebody wants to see them, they're not the most professionally produced things on earth, but we get the point across.
And, of course, that website is fredsmusicandbbq.com. And then, of course, you do have the line of rubs that you're selling, Tasty Licks, bbq.com. How are those seeming to be received to the general public?
Going really good. We you probably know we let some people put some posts for a link. We offered some free rub sample packages on your forum, and I think it migrated to other forums because we had 600. We just sent out 600 free packets, each one with 10 small little sample packets of rubs in. So we just basically manufactured 6,000 free packets, and I think we just about have the last of them out of the Tasty Licks product. So we're just trying to get them out in the market, and it's been quite good.
All right,
they're quite well received.
So we got the Egg Fest coming up May 16th, May 15th. There'll be kind of a little insider event, but then May 16th starting at 9 a.m. for the ceremonial lighting of the eggs and then cooking all day, eating and all the good stuff. Obviously, you'll probably be able to see those modifications that the XL has taken place as well. You'll be able to show that and actually see and physically touch that. And, again, give us a number and a website to go for all the information.
Okay, and one last thing, Greg. That day we have everything in the store on sale, one day a year, and that's the day of Egg Fest. We also have, 3 lines of pellet grills, many other things. But anyway, it's www.fredsmusicandbbq.com, music store and barbecue store side by side, only one in the world.
All right, so we'll send people over there. Hopefully we'll get some calls in, and we can bump up the participation level, but I'm sure it'll be very successful. I'd like to follow up with you and see how that went for you, if we can do that.
All right, Craig, we'll keep in touch, buddy.
All right, Fred, take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Fred Bernardo, Fred's Music and BBQ. How about that? Don't usually do the first segment interview. Figured we'd jump in, do that, change it up a little bit. We're packed. I'm going to get out so I can have time for my second guest, Chris Schlesinger. Hope I'm saying his last name right. He'll correct me here in a minute if I don't. Segment after that, it's Ray Lampe, Dr. Barbecue, talking about all things related to the world of barbecue and grilling. Fourth segment, Free For All, sponsored by Naked Pig, bbq.com, giving away some of his rubs. So thanks to Chuck for sponsoring that. Stand by. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show on LA Talk Radio.
The future of barbecue is already here at thebarbecueguru.com. From the amazing guru that monitors and controls the temperatures of any charcoal, wood, or electric pit to the Caldera Tallboy knockdown smoker. Yes, it breaks down and stores flat, yet it's still a robust, sturdy, portable cooker and smokehouse. It also serves as an efficient temperature-controlled convection oven using wood or charcoal. The Tallboy is designed to fit all catering pans and can be used as a warming oven. You can cook in any style you choose. Make ribs, chicken, jerky, vegetables, smoked cheese, whatever you want. Take it to KCBS competitions and unload it from the trunk of your car. TheBarbecueGuru.com is where you'll find the Caldera 3-Bay Caterer. It's stainless steel and uses charcoal or sterno for chafing purposes. And it doubles as a 3-bay sink or wash station with hot water and knocks down in seconds with no tools required for transportation and storage. The future of barbecue is here at thebarbecueguru.com. That's www.thebbqguru.com or call 1-800-288-GURU. Hey, smell my pits. Yeah, come on, smell my pits. You know why they smell so good? Because I use D-Dog's barbecue rubs in my barbecue pits. D-Dog's award-winning championship rubs are available online at ddogsbbq.com. Try the original, the apple, or the maple. But there's more. D-Dog's now has sauces. D-Dog's Barbecue is now proud to offer cranberry chipotle sauce, D-Dog's chicken wing sauce, and steak sauce too. And you can get them online at ddogsbbq.com. Keep checking back because D-Dogs is always bringing in new products with new sauces and new rubs coming soon. D-Dogs Barbecue Rubs and Sauces, championship award-winning. Shop online at ddogsbbq.com. That's ddogsbbq.com.
Now, let's get back to the Barbecue Central Show on LA Talk Radio.
All right, welcome back to the Barbecue Central Show. I'm your host, Greg Rempe. This portion of the show brought to you by D-Dog's Barbecue Rub. Just in time for spring, Darren at D-Dog's announces the D-Dog's Barbecue Stimulus Package. D-Dog's Barbecue will be cutting the prices on all of their rubs. That's the original, the maple, and the apple. Even cutting prices on their 3 packs of rubs. So go ahead and check them out at ddogsbbq.com. Remember, at D-Dog's Barbecue, making great barbecue doesn't require a bailout. And as always, D-Dog's Barbecue Rub is better than ketchup. ddogsbbq.com. All right. As promised, and I'm very excited about this interview, joining me, a graduate from the Culinary Institute of Americas in 1977. He's worked in 35. Whoa, I'm a little excited here, and I'm going all over the place. Let's try this one instead. There we go. He opened the East Coast Grill in 1986. He has co-authored 5 books with John Willoughby. He's also won the James Beard Cookbook Award for The Thrill of the Grill. He's also won the James Beard Award Best Chef Northeast. Quite an accomplished teaching, culinary cooking teacher as well. Been on a number of different shows, writes for New York Times on segment pieces. I am, of course, talking about Chris Schlesinger. Chris, thanks for coming on the show tonight. How are you?
Hey, how are you this evening? Nice to be with you.
Am I saying it right? Is it Schlesinger?
Yeah, well, you know what? Our branch of the family, for some reason, says Schlesinger, but everybody else says Schlesinger, so.
Schlesinger.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I never would have got that. So the 2 that I was thinking of, and so, of course, 0 for 2. So nevertheless.
As long as you don't call me late for dinner.
I heard that. Chris, thanks for coming on the show tonight. I certainly appreciate it. We could certainly go probably the better part of an hour for an interview with everything you have behind you and what you have coming up, but I'd like to squeeze as much as we can in these 10 minutes or 11 minutes, and if we can certainly pick up at another point in time. But first, obviously the show, barbecue, grilling based. Give us a little background, where you came from and how you kind of fell in love with the art of barbecue and grilling.
Well, I always say I kind of have 3 perspectives on grilling and barbecuing, and my first one was as a 7 or 8-year-old boy, and my father was kind of a typical dad griller. He'd come home from work, and he said, break out the grill, and I got to do that, and he let me spray as much fluid on it as I could, and back in the day, that would put a little mushroom cloud up in the sky, and then he'd bring the steaks out with his cocktail or whatever, and then we'd burn them on the outside and cook them raw on the inside, and then we'd go into brag to my sister and mother that we had, yet again conquered the wilds of the backyard to deliver another perfectly grilled meal.
No doubt.
So it was always seemed like it was a little more casual, a little more fun. Everybody had a good time. The food tasted great. Then later when I studied at the Culinary Institute of America, I came to understand that, my father actually didn't invent grilling, that it was if you look at Escoffier, the 19th century French master, he's basically responsible for codifying Western cooking technique, that he defines grilling along with sautéing, poaching, roasting as a leading culinary, operation. So, at that point I became familiar with the techniques and kind of the classic culinary definition of grilling, and that it was, a traditional cooking technique. And then later, using my profession as a cook to travel around, going to different countries, and kind of following my other affection of surfing, traveling to a lot of different countries with low 80s temperature and overhead waves, discovering that, a lot of other cultures use grilling too, and they use it, as an everyday cooking technique, and then kind of get inspired by all the different spices and ingredients that they use. So.
And you're a guy that
kind
was
of my 3 major influences.
And you're a guy that's born and raised in Virginia, so some would argue that's technically the line of demarcation between Yankees and the Southerners, and that's where the line of barbecue starts, and then moves southward. Of course, holding Florida, because that's technically not a Southern state, from what I understand.
That's right. That's true.
So you've worked, obviously a graduate of Culinary Institute of Americas. You worked, as your biography reads, in 35 different restaurants. So did you travel around quite a bit when working in the restaurants, or have you mainly stayed up in the northeast quadrant of the country there?
No, well, it sounds like I had a lot of jobs. I don't know. That might be a little inflated. 35 jobs sounds like I couldn't hold a job. But, when I graduated school, I tried to travel around as much as possible. I think as a young cook, everybody tries to get as much experience as possible. So, beyond traveling around the United States for different jobs, I was fortunate enough to work out in Hawaii, spend a period of time down in Barbados, where, I kind of became very fond of chilies, the Scotch bonnet particularly. And, always was very inspired about traveling to other countries and other cultures and seeing kind of the intersection of people and food and, drink and things like that. So that's particularly exciting and always very influential in my cooking and my, love of food.
So you have the pedigree behind you, and you've worked, now in a number of restaurants. I mean, was it always a dream of yours to open, one or any number of grills that you were kind of overseeing? In '86 you opened the East Coast Grill, which is probably not the most famous restaurant that you're known to, but it's one that I can kind of find you most easily as far as tied to an internet source. You opened that up, and you've opened, a few other ones. You've expanded the East Coast Grill. Is that something that you were really looking to do as you were kind of honing your skills and getting your experience to open up your own place and go from there?
Well, I tell you, back in the day when I was starting my career, I think that, cooking and being a cook or a chef was kind of equated with being a truck driver, and the folks that weren't able to make it in college ended up in the restaurant business. So I really had very little ambition. And, just worked in the business for long enough and worked for people that, I figured if they could do it, I could do it. So, gave it a go, and it worked out all right. Didn't really have a lot of ambition when I was growing up, but was fortunate enough to find a kitchen when I was dropped out of college and went in a restaurant kitchen and started washing dishes and immediately fell in love with the atmosphere.
Did you always want to put barbecue on the menu at some point?
Well, growing up in, southeastern Virginia, close to North Carolina, we were always grew up on the shredded pork, and it was interesting when, after studying in school and opening the restaurant, I wanted to put barbecue pork on the menu, and I found out that I didn't really know how to cook it. And, we researched it. We went down and were one of the first northern teams to participate in Memphis in May, the International Barbecue Festival down there, and there I learned about the importance that there's certain cooking principles that are defined by classic culinary thought, and there are other cooking principles like barbecuing and, different regional cultural techniques that are, unique to that own thing, and barbecue is one of those. I don't think there's anywhere in the world where food is cooked exactly as it is in, North Carolina or Memphis or Texas or anything like that, and I think that's part of what makes barbecue, traditional American barbecue, such a unique foodway.
So I can do a talk show about it, and it's like never the same every week. So that must, say a certain amount. You go, what kind of segue? So you get your restaurant experience underneath. You're gaining a certain modicum of success, probably some recognition, and then you go and team up with John Willoughby. I believe as Doc is his handle, Doc Willoughby. And you end up authoring, 5 cookbooks. One was a James Beard Cookbook Award winner, The Thrill of the Grill. I believe that was in 1990. And then you had one later on, License to Grill. Some other ones kind of, mixed in between, maybe, one geared towards salsas, one geared towards, stuff in your kitchen with lettuce. But, I want to focus obviously on the grill thing. So, I mean, did you foresee the success of that first book, getting the James Beard Award? Was that just kind of like a nice surprise? And what led you to team up with John and create these books?
Well, no, I think actually the success of the book has a lot to do with the, our editor at the time who, felt like that grilling could benefit from a treatment in hardcover. And I think prior to that point, I don't know if grilling and barbecue had been taken that seriously, of course, with the exception of James Beard, who published a couple books about it in the 50s and 60s. But I think the success of the book was that grilling was becoming more popular, and it was kind of treated the subject in a serious culinary way as opposed to a backyard technique. And Doc and I had been friends. He's friends with my sister, and he was a writer, and they said a person approached me about writing a book and said we needed a writer, and I suggested Doc, and they said no, we needed an accomplished writer, and I said, well, let's try Doc. And that thing now, he's John Willoughby is executive editor at Gourmet Magazine, so I think we made a good call on that, and very distinguished career in culinary journalism.
And then you go on to License to Grill a few years after that. By the way, we're talking with Chris Schlesinger, East Coast Grill. He's been on a number of TV shows, does a segment piece for New York Times. Thrill the Grill comes out. What's the difference between those two books, and what do you try and accomplish when you're actually writing a grilling cookbook?
Well, I think we always say, I mean, if the value of a cookbook to me, if I can learn something about technique and get 4 or 5 recipes that I, include in my future cooking, I think the book's a success. But I think what we try to do mainly in our books is teach people about technique, because I think one of the things about grilling that kind of makes it so exciting is that each time you approach the grill, it's different. So Escoffier talked about it being the remote starting point of our what we do professionally, because you throw a chicken in the oven at 350 degrees, it's going to be ready in a certain time. But when you put something on the grill, each live fire is unique and a little bit different. So you really have to rely on other cooking skills, the appearance, the smell, the feel, and things like that. So I think that what we'd like people to take away from our books is, this idea of actually how to cook things more so than just, I think the recipes are strong too, but I think that kind of the technique, checking for doneness, how to tell if your fire's hot, how to lay a fire, and things like that, I think are crucial.
Do you have any books that are in the hopper waiting to come out?
Well, we're working on one on hot food, so kind of grilling and hot foods in the works.
All right, so last question before I let you go, and you have to answer honestly, otherwise you will receive the Centralites ridicule forever. Line you up, line Steven Reichlin up, and Bobby Flay. Do you kick the crap out of both of them when it comes to competition?
No, I know Bobby and Steven well, and they're great guys, and I think we all feel fortunate to, share the grilling, to spread the grilling word amongst everybody. So.
Two of the three of you have been on the show. I bet you can't guess who hasn't.
My main man, Steve?
Steven's done the show 3 times.
Oh, my main man, Bobby. You can't get a hold of Bobby, huh?
I'm sure you might be able to slip a word if I asked you real nice.
Well, it's funny. We both came out with grill books this year, and unknown to each other, we had the same title.
Oh, really?
We both published grill books, Grill It,
nice.
this summer. So.
All right, so this is Chris Schlesinger. EastCoastGrill.net is your website for the restaurant. Are there any other websites or information, appearances you're going to be going to or appearing at that you'd like to plug right now?
East Coast Grill is a great a resource for anybody. If anybody ever comes to Cambridge, we have a wonderful restaurant here doing grilled seafood and traditional American barbecue. We'd love to see you.
All right, Chris, thanks for coming on the show tonight. Appreciate it. I know we kind of went in 20 different directions there, but hopefully we can have you back on again soon. We'll kind of stick it to one topic, and we can go for there for a whole segment.
I could talk about barbecue and grilling forever.
All right, Chris, I appreciate you coming on tonight.
All right, take care. Thank you.
Take care. That was Chris Schlesinger, not Schlesinger, like I thought. What can I tell you? You see the name? I'm making, I don't know. Schlesinger. It's eastcoastgrill.net. That's the best way to check him out. Really, if you go to starchefs.com and search Chris Schlesinger and read his bio, very accomplished, very successful. So he's definitely somebody we're going to be putting in the hopper for repeat appearances if he will so have himself back on the show. And why wouldn't you? It's the Barbecue Central show. You know what I'm saying? All right, we're going to step away. Ray Lampe coming up. Naked Pig Barbecue Rub up available for free grabs in the 4-segment free-for-all. Stick around. We'll be right back. Michelle?
You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show.
Hey, smell my pits. Yeah, come on, smell my pits. You know why they smell so good? Because I use D-Dog's barbecue rubs in my barbecue pits. D-Dog's award-winning championship rubs are available online at ddogsbbq.com. Try the original, the apple, or the maple. But there's more. D-Dog's now has sauces. D-Dog's Barbecue is now proud to offer cranberry chipotle sauce, D-Dog's chicken wing sauce, and steak sauce too. And you can get them online at ddogsbbq.com. Keep checking back because D-Dogs is always bringing in new products with new sauces and new rubs coming soon. D-Dogs Barbecue Rubs and Sauces, championship award-winning. Shop online at ddogsbbq.com. That's ddogsbbq.com. Barbecue has never been easier with the Barbecue Guru. The Barbecue Guru is a temperature control and monitor for all pits, charcoal, wood, electric, your pit. It easily attaches to any smoker or pit and gives you simple, trouble-free control of your temperatures so you can make championship quality barbecue every time and all the time. And it's location-free. Take it anywhere. This amazing breakthrough in barbecue technology is a microprocessor-controlled draft system that uses temperature monitors and a small fan to keep your temperatures constant. The stainless steel Guru Pit Minder gives you a choice of controls from 90 to 370 degrees. So cold smoking, pepper drying, making cheese or jerky, or fabulous briskets and ribs is nothing short of effortless. The ProCom 4 lets you monitor your pit from up to 600 feet away, and there's more. Check out the full line of products and accessories for the future of barbecue with new items on the way. Visit thebarbecueguru.com. That's www.thebbqguru.com or call 1-800-288-GURU.
Let's get back to the Barbecue Central Show on LA Talk Radio.
All right, welcome back. This is the Barbecue Central Show. I am your host, Greg Rempe. Thanks again to last segment guest, Chris Schlesinger, EastCoastGrill.net. This portion of the show brought to you by the good folks at the Barbecue Guru, makers of the ProCom 4 wireless, the DigiQ2, and the CyberQ automatic pit temperature control devices, not to mention a whole host of other items that make your barbecue and grilling life easier. You can look them up on the web at thebbqguru.com or give them a call at 800-288-GURU. All right, as promised, joining me now, yet another guy that I'd love to talk barbecue and grilling with whenever he so graciously has the time. And looks like time is right tonight. It's Ray Lampe, Dr. Barbecue. Ray, thanks for coming back on the show tonight. How are you?
Hey, Greg. How are you?
Not too bad. Glad to have you back on the show. Certainly we can run in 20 different directions, probably like I could with my last guest, Chris Schlesinger. Do you know Chris by chance?
I've never met him. No, I'm certainly aware of him, and I enjoyed the interview.
Yeah,
Thanks.
He's a good guy. So, all right, so let's start off. I was reading in the paper last Saturday. I was trolling through the Metro section, as I love to do here in Cleveland, and wrote a big article about the Greenbrier going into bankruptcy. So, obviously, I thought that would at least be a good starting point tonight. You're one of three cooks at the Barbecue Mastery class, so give us any insight you can as far as what the Greenbrier process is and how that's going to affect the Barbecue Mastery class this year.
Yeah, well, I mean, like so many companies and resorts right now, they're having a rough go, and they have filed Chapter 11. I don't know. I saw the paperwork. It's irrelevant to me. What it does mean to us is they're trimming back all their programs, and they've actually cut a lot of them out, but they want to try and save the Barbecue Mastery program. And so what they've done is for this year, instead of three, last year we did three weekends, and we were hoping to up that this year, but because of the whole situation, they've trimmed it back to just one, and they actually have trimmed it back to just me for this year. What the future will hold, who knows? You know, it's kind of bittersweet for me. Myron and Chris Lilly are good friends of mine, and I really enjoyed doing it with them. On the other hand, if it's only going to be one guy, I guess I prefer that it was me and not them. The reality is it was my deal in the beginning. I'm the one that found it and met up with the folks up there, and they wanted to go with multiple chefs, so I got Myron and Chris involved, and so you know it was sort of fair that I ended up being the guy. But hopefully we're going to grow the thing back. You know, their interest is in saving it for this year, and I'm glad to see that. That makes me feel real good about it. You know, what it'll be in the future, who knows? There's rumors that Greenbrier is being bought by Marriott. I don't know. No one's told me that. It doesn't really matter to me. I expect a lot of good changes there over the next few years, and hopefully they're going to ride it out. You know, the place has been there for a couple hundred years. My guess is it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, so class is still there. You're going to be the one and only cook for the one and only session there, so that's good news. Secondary to that, and this is more of a gossip note, but I saw on the news that Southern Hospitality had I don't know if there was some type of issue where I think initially when we had actually talked about you getting the gig there as the executive chef overseeing the barbecue aspect of the restaurant, that Justin Timberlake was an owner. Then it comes out that he's not an owner. I mean, could this be any more of a tragic event when it comes to the world of barbecue?
Well, yeah, I guess I should be insulted that you're asking, frankly, but somehow this became big barbecue news, and I got badgered by one of my friends out there who has a website and just couldn't get over it and wanted to somehow dig to the bottom of this breaking barbecue excitement. And, you know, that's none of my business. I don't know who actually owns what around there. Hell, you know, Justin's involved. I know he comes in when he's in town. Who actually owns the place? My guess is it's, you know, some sort of legal maneuvering on the part of him and his partners up there. Or apparently they're not his partners. You know, I don't know. Greg, hell, who cares? I know he's around. I know he's involved with the place. I know the guy who, Eitan Sugarman, who runs it day to day, is a very good friend of his. That's all I know. You know, maybe you're going to have to give him on the interview to actually get the details on that.
Yeah, I'll have to hammer him down. I'm sure he's easy to track down.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure he'd like to join you. You know, like I said, it's completely irrelevant. The place is actually doing well these days. The food is good. It's not like he was in there tending bar before this breaking news came out. You know, he comes in when we see him in New York. He's a regular guest along with his friends. You know, who owns what? I sure don't care. I can't imagine why everybody else does. But
the check's clear, and that's all that counts.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I'm still there cooking the barbecue. You know, when they went out. But frankly, and this may come as a surprise to anybody, I don't own the place either.
I was going to say, next thing you're going to tell me is you don't own the joint.
That's right. Everybody's going to start declaring they don't own it. So when we all get done, we'll find out who does.
There you go.
It's really a great place. I'm really proud of the barbecue we're serving up there. It's, you know, Justin and his friends honestly had this vision of building this Memphis kind of a barbecue joint in New York, and through the hard work of a lot of people, we got it. It's a pretty cool place, you know. So whether he actually owns the, you know, I can tell you this, he doesn't hire the bus boys and the waiters and stuff like that. So, and he's never signed a check that I got. But,
gotcha.
You know, to me, it's just kind of funny that everyone cares so much. If it wasn't Justin Timberlake, nobody would care.
Yeah, exactly. So, kind of segueing off of that, there's been, you know, the thing that kind of I've been looking at, or people have always been telling me ever since the show has been on, is that, you know, I should possibly look into writing a book. And I know we kind of touched base on that very briefly maybe a month or so ago. And then all of a sudden you see this resurgence. You get the guys from Barbecue Addict that come up with this bacon explosion. They just signed a big book deal when they're in New York a couple months ago, 6-figure book deal. And all of a sudden it starts to resurface again. And certainly nobody knows about writing books better than you. So for people that think that they have a book in them, can you just kind of break it down for us in the very, you know, very kind of rudimentary portions of what it actually takes and what you might want to look into in the beginning when you start to look at, hey, I want to put a book out and what do I have to do?
Yeah, I actually, I'm up to 5 books this year, and I was quite surprised that Chris Schlesinger has only done 5, so I'm kind of proud of that accomplishment. Unfortunately, when I first started poking around to see if I could write a cookbook, a barbecue cookbook, the answer I sort of kept getting was, it was one of them situations where, well, you can't get a book deal unless you have a previous book deal. It was one of them kind of things where, you know, you can't get in this business unless you're already in this business. And I didn't know what to make of that. The advice I was given by a couple of people was, don't go do a self-published book unless that's all you want to do. If you really want to be an author, a real author, and write real books, don't sell yourself short like that, because you may never get taken serious. And I followed that advice for whatever reason. I don't know that it was an epic decision, and for me it worked out well. I just kind of stumbled along for a little while and just ran into a situation through Dave DeWitt, the Fiery Foods guy. Dave's a good friend of mine, and I had started writing for his magazine, and he actually handed me a deal. We heard about a publisher that was looking for someone to write a couple of barbecue books, and Dave sort of handed me this deal. Because, I mean, I was the right guy for it, but I just was in the right place at the right time. And unfortunately, it's tough to get your foot in the door, especially now, frankly, writing barbecue books. You know, when my first book came out, I guess it was 2005, or when we signed the deal, it was 2003 or 2004. And there really wasn't a lot of barbecue books on the counter, you know, on the shelf. The year mine came, I think Paul Kirk's big book came out the year before mine. And then Mike Mills's book came out the same year as mine. And my God, man, they've just kept coming ever since. It's just amazing how many barbecue books there are. You know, it's a pretty tough business. There's not a lot of publishers looking for barbecue books right now. I can tell you that. Frankly, there's not a lot of publishers looking for any kind of books right now. They're all kind of like trying to trying to get you to not call them for the next few months to hopefully things will start getting better. It's tough to get in there. But if you've got a good idea, you want to look around and finding an agent would be the best way to go as far as I can see. If you really want to go at it big time. And if you can get an agent, then you're going to go forward. He's going to know how to handle what you want to write. If no agent will talk to you and no agent will actually thinks your proposal a good proposal, well, there's a good chance it's not very marketable. So you might want to try and retool it or work with an agent. It's a tough situation. There's a lot of agents out there online, and most of their websites will have instructions as to how to submit to them your idea or your manuscript. And I think that's the best way to start if you want to be taken seriously in the publishing industry.
So that's a good frame of or a good starting point. If you're shopping it around and nobody gets back to you, probably not something they're going to want to put on the shelves anyway. So, as you said, retool and then repitch at a later date. So, I've been getting a lot of questions about that, and I just wanted to at least get some of your thoughts from somebody that's done it a number of times.
Yeah, and the reality is, the bulk of cookbooks these days are being sold by the folks that are on food TV, and that's the reality of it. And then you throw in guys like Schlesinger and Stephen Raiklin, and my God, man, that's a whole lot of books that are being sold before you even start getting down to the rest of us. So it's a tough nut out there. And
you're actually working on is it like a private label or just specific to Williams-Sonoma cookbook?
Yeah, I don't know what the real term for it is. In my world, what they did is they commissioned it through Chronicle Books. They were looking for a book to be part of their grilling display this year, and it's a typical Williams-Sonoma looking beautiful square little hardcover book, and it's called Ribs, Chops, Steaks, and Wings. And the book is by me. It's exclusive to Williams-Sonoma for the first year for all practical purposes. And after that, it'll become a regular title in my library. So we'll reissue it either next year or the year after. But you could probably see it soon. It should be in all the Williams-Sonoma stores with their grilling tools and stuff. And because of that, it's just a gorgeous book. They commissioned this girl to do all the photos for it, and it's just an amazing looking book. I'm so lucky to be able to, a regular Dr. Barbecue book is not going to get that much attention with photos and design and stuff. So it's pretty cool to be part of this project. And a big feather in my cap, man. What an honor to have my book be part of the grilling display at Williams-Sonoma this year. That's quite an honor.
It's funny, I must have missed the invitation for me to write the foreword for that book.
Boy, I sent you an email. You must not have got it. You checked your junk pile?
Damn spam filter.
Yeah. Actually, I don't think there is no forward because of what it is,
No doubt. So, and then do you have any personal appearances you're going to be making here over the next few weeks you want to pimp while you're on?
Yeah, sure. I'm always happy to pimp stuff. I'm actually going up to Atlanta this week for the Metropolitan Cooking Show. This is a big deal. I saw it a while back, and I contacted them, and it looked to be like a foodie kind of a show, and I contacted them, and they said, yeah, I could come up there and do a demonstration and be part of it. And I thought I'd be able to sell books up there, or they would sell some books for me. And so it sounded good. I signed on, and I'm going up there to do it. But it's actually a bigger deal than I thought it was going to be. They've got their headliners on Saturday when I'm going to be there is Guy Fieri and Tyler Florence, and that's the high cotton. Now those guys are off in the special stage where you got to pay some extra money to go see them, but I've always considered myself sort of a low-budget alternative to Guy anyway, so I think it works out well. This week I really am going to be. I'll be on the stage out in front with all the great unwashed. But I've gotten a lot of response about doing that because my picture's on their website and everything, and it sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to seeing the show and going up there. And, of course, Atlanta's always a good time, and Guy is a friend of mine, so you may find me and him sitting at a bar sometime Saturday night.
Nice. And that'll be on the 18th in Atlanta for the Metropolitan Cooking Show. Ray, always appreciate you coming on and making time for the show. You've done it a number of times, and I always personally appreciate it. I know the Centralites do, too. And hopefully we can have you back on again soon.
Hey, Greg, always good to talk. See you later.
All right, Ray, thanks. That is Ray Lampe, Dr. Barbecue. All right, ran a little bit long. Certainly always well worth that. So if you want to win some Naked Pig barbecue rub, call in now, 216-220-0966 to win. And then we'll retry the live promotion thing with Broad Topics, which worked out horrifically last week. Stick around, we'll be right back.
You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show on LA Talk Radio.
The future of barbecue is already here at thebarbecueguru.com. From the amazing guru that monitors and controls the temperatures of any charcoal, wood, or electric pit to the Caldera Tallboy knockdown smoker. Yes, it breaks down and stores flat, yet it's still a robust, sturdy, portable cooker and smokehouse. It also serves as an efficient temperature-controlled convection oven using wood or charcoal. The Tallboy is designed to fit all catering pans and can be used as a warming oven. You can cook in any style you choose. Make ribs, chicken, jerky, vegetables, smoked cheese, whatever you want. Take it to KCBS competitions and unload it from the trunk of your car. TheBarbecueGuru.com is where you'll find the Caldera 3-Bay Caterer. It's stainless steel and uses charcoal or sterno for chafing purposes. And it doubles as a 3-bay sink or wash station with hot water and knocks down in seconds with no tools required for transportation and storage. The future of barbecue is here at TheBarbecueGuru.com. That's www.thebbqguru.com or call 1-800-288-GURU. Hey, smell my pits. Yeah, come on, smell my pits. You know why they smell so good? Because I use D-Dog's barbecue rubs in my barbecue pits. D-Dog's award-winning championship rubs are available online at ddogsbbq.com. Try the original, the apple, or the maple. But there's more. D-Dog's now has sauces. D-Dog's Barbecue is now proud to offer cranberry chipotle sauce, D-Dog's chicken wing sauce, and steak sauce too. And you can get them online at ddogsbbq.com. Keep checking back because D-Dogs is always bringing in new products with new sauces and new rubs coming soon. D-Dogs Barbecue Rubs and Sauces, championship award-winning. Shop online at ddogsbbq.com. That's ddogsbbq.com.
To get on the Barbecue Central Show, call 216-220-0966.
Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
All right, welcome back to the Barbecue Central Show. Program host, Greg Rempe. This portion of the Barbecue Central Show brought to you by Yoder's Smoky Mountain Barbecue. Yoder Smoky Mountain Barbecue is the leading online distributor of Meadow Creek barbecue equipment. The barbecue smokers, pig roasters, chicken cookers, and grills are handcrafted in the Amish country of Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Their goal is to give you outstanding value for the price, help you enjoy easy and profitable barbecues for years to come. They also carry a complete line of barbecue rubs and sauces. Check them out on the web at Serious BBQs. That's bbqs.com. SeriousBBQs.com. Yoder's Smoky Mountain Barbecue. That's what I'm talking about. All right, we're going to go to the phones and get a winner. Area code 503. Name and where you're calling from. Caller.
Hello?
Area code 503. Name and where you're calling from.
Hillsboro, Oregon.
Hillsboro, Oregon. Name?
Tom.
Tom, how are you tonight?
Good. Yourself?
Having a very good show, I think.
Good. I heard Fred. I ordered a ProQ from him a couple months back. I really like it.
Oh, good. Great. Interested in the Naked Pig Barbecue Rub?
Yeah.
All right. Well, then you are a winner. So all you need to do is just go ahead and email me your shipping information, and you can do that at bbqcentralradio@gmail.com, and we'll get that right out to you.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right, Tom. Thanks for calling.
Yeah.
That's Tom. Winning. Tom winning. Hey, thanks to Ray Lampe for calling in and doing the interview. Man, look at these calls blistering in right now. Give these guys about 45 more seconds to hear that somebody else has won. Otherwise, I'll make sure I pick them up and tell them that they didn't win. So congratulations to Tom for winning. Again, thanks to Ray Lampe for calling in. And thanks to Chris Schlesinger, eastcoastgrill.net. It's not .com, it's .net. And now let's go ahead and try this thing that we did last week. And of course, this didn't work out too well. But ever in the quest to add some interactive content to the Barbecue Central show, I just want to make sure that you guys know, the Centralites know that what's coming up next. And what I mean by next is in 15 minutes. because some of you have nothing better to do than sit in front of your computers and continue to listen to outstanding content and programming. With that being said, I want to welcome in Laura Nickerson from Broad Topics. That's the show after me. Laura, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Greg.
Laura, thought this is actually sounding at least light years better than it did last week.
Last week, I think we entered some weird time warp space continuum. I think we were on the show Lost or something last week. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It didn't work.
Evidently, I'm not allowed in Cleveland to call out to L.A. while my show is going through the L.A. server thing, and I'm hearing me back, and you're hearing you back. And like you said, it was very hallucinogenic in many different ways.
It was. It was good and bad in so many ways, Greg.
All right, so Laura Nickerson is one of the 4 hosts on Broad Topics, which is the show after me, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. And what's on the show tonight, Laura?
Well, tonight we're going to talk about an important subject, especially for women, and we're going to talk about boobs.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
I said breasts. Boobs.
Boobs! You know, we talk about breasts, too, in the barbecue world, but usually it's just related to chicken.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, we're not going to put any barbecue sauce on any parts of that, but tonight we're talking about breast health.
Breast health.
Breast health, breast cancer, how to prevent it, how to keep your body running the way it should. So, and we're going to do everything we can to incorporate the word boobies as much as possible.
I got to imagine my listenership is spiking to about 8,000 right now.
Well, hopefully it's something enough to get people to stick around and listen to their barbecue show and then listen to us right after.
That's right. So everybody stay tuned for Laura, Joan, Kelly, and Jillian talking about boobs. There'll be 8 boobs, I guess, just in the studio alone with you guys.
That's right. We like the more the merrier.
There you go. So stay tuned for Laura Nickerson, Kelly, Joan, and Jillian. That's Broad Topics talking about boobs tonight. Thanks for doing this, Laura. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Greg. Take care.
All right, take
Bye.
care. That's Laura Nickerson from Broad Topics. All right, area code 716, name and where you're calling from.
Hey, this is Chris Lawrence. I just want to remind everybody with spring coming around that the American Cancer Society is doing the Relay for Life, and we always do like 100 pounds of pulled pork for it. And if you see it advertised around you, if you can support it, my dad's a survivor. It'd be great if you could do that.
All right, Chris. Thanks a lot for calling in and sharing.
Okay, thanks, Greg.
Take care. That's Chris, New York. That's going to do it for me. A programming note next week. I will be out of town, guest host, award-winning, top 50 rated by a website that I can't remember right off the top of my head. Johnny Dam, host of the Damage Report right here on LA Talk Radio. He's an award-winning talk show host right now. He'll be having Bill Jameson and Derek Riches. Derek Riches from About.com reviewing all things related to the world of barbecue and grilling. Bill Jameson, of course, Smoke and Spice. So that'll be Johnny Dam next week sitting in for me, so look forward to that. I want to thank my guest, Chris Schlesinger, EastCoastGrill.net. Also, Ray Lampe, drbbq.com, Dr. Barbecue. If you want to check him out, don't forget about his event coming up this weekend in Atlanta. You can check him out if you're over in that direction. Thanks to Sam Hassan for running the sound in Southern California. Don't forget, again, to stay tuned for Broad Topics. It's boobs tonight. Laura, Joan, Kelly, and Jillian. 8 boobs right there. Boobs talking about boobs with more boobs. Again, don't forget, next week, Johnny Dan will be sitting in for me with Bill Jameson and Derek Riches. And that will be at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where once again the Barbecue Central Show will be on the air. Until then, I'll see you back on the 28th. But nevertheless, I am still your program host and still a proud U.S. American. Good night now.
Smell my pits. Yeah, come on, smell my pits. You know why they smell so good? Because I use D-Dog's barbecue rubs in my barbecue pits. D-Dog's award-winning championship rubs are available online at ddogsbbq.com. Try the original, the apple, or the maple. But there's more. D-Dog's now has sauces. D-Dog's Barbecue is now proud to offer cranberry chipotle sauce, D-Dog's chicken wing sauce, and steak sauce too. And you can get them online at ddogsbbq.com. Keep checking back because D-Dogs is always bringing in new products with new sauces and new rubs coming soon. D-Dogs Barbecue Rubs and Sauces, championship award-winning. Shop online at ddogsbbq.com. That's ddogsbbq.com. Barbecue has never been easier with the Barbecue Guru. The Barbecue Guru is a temperature control and monitor for all pits, charcoal, wood, electric, your pit. It easily attaches to any smoker or pit and gives you simple, trouble-free control of your temperatures so you can make championship quality barbecue every time and all the time. And it's location-free. Take it anywhere. This amazing breakthrough in barbecue technology is a microprocessor-controlled draft system that uses temperature monitors and a small fan to keep your temperatures constant. The stainless steel Guru Pit Minder gives you a choice of controls from 90 to 370 degrees. So cold smoking, pepper drying, making cheese or jerky, or fabulous briskets and ribs is nothing short of effortless. The Procom 4 lets you monitor your pit from up to 600 feet away. And there's more. Check out the full line of products and accessories for the future of barbecue with new items on the way. Visit thebarbecueguru.com. That's www.thebbqguru.com or call 1-800-288-GURU.